Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, welcome again to Realty Executives. Today, we're very, very excited. We have all the way from across the hall, one of our transaction coordinators is going to present all the new changes on the disclosures, because a lot of times we concentrate on the leasing agreement, the purchase agreement, and we forget there's a whole lot of disclosures in between. So I want you to put your hands together and welcome Jaenenne Nunez to
Hi everybody, good morning, and thank you for having me. So I want to go over the first thing, a few disclosures that we have that are going to be new, coming out in December 11, 2017 this year. And you can also, any updates coming up, they're usually in June, December, and I believe there's another, I think April. And there's a website that I have for you right here at on the form. You can find those there. So the first one we have is the amendment of existing agreement terms. And that's basically going to allow you to make any changes to your offer or any of your counter offers. And of course it has to be executed by both parties in order for it to be part of the transaction. The next one we have is a property images agreement. This allows licensees to use any property photography taken by any third party for any marketing purposes. And the third one that they have is the team agreement, and that allows you can go ahead and use it for when licensees are getting into groups, teams, and it's only allowed for licensees. There are separate forms that you can use when someone is working under a broker or an agent, and it does allow also to distinguish what the compensation is between a leader and a member of the team. So on the second page, we do have a list about 12 disclosures that are going to be revised. The buyer representation agreement, and you do have a little small description of each one. That's what's going to be added as the language. The backup offer addendum, the contingency for sale of buyer's property, the manufactured home purchase agreement, the notice of buyer to perform. We have the parking and storage disclosure, the receipt for reports, the seller license to remain in possession addendum, seller's purchase of replacement property, the septic well property monument and allocation of cost addendum, the wire fraud and electronic funds advisory. So you can go ahead and read the little description that they have for you here. And then also on December 11th, that's when they'll be releasing the disclosure, so that's when you'll be able to see everything in red, what's being changed specifically. And going on to the fourth page, we have the NHD disclosure. They did have a disclosure on this on CAR, but being that the NHD report already comes with a statement, that's what is actually, I guess they realized that satisfies the requirements, so we no longer need the disclosure from CAR forms. And actually that's going to be taken out. And the next one being taken out is the notice of your supplemental tax bill. And that they also realized that it states on the statewide buyer seller advisory on page 10, paragraph 48. And then it's also referenced back to the purchase contract, page 7, paragraph 17. So that one's going to be taken out. And the last one taken out is the mortgage loan disclosure statement. And that is it for the updates. Did I need the flyers? I have another one that I want to discuss to you guys about what's needed throughout a commercial transaction. So some of you may know what's required and what's not required. If you guys want to take one and pass it down. I just went ahead and dotted what's used when you guys have a commercial transaction. I'll wait for it to go around. So I have a few checks on there, that's what's used throughout the transaction, but there are a few requirements on the disclosures. So if you go down the list, of course, the listing documents are required, the purchase documents are required, but most importantly, the agency disclosure is the required one that you need. Typically, you don't need the buyers, but it does come on the purchase contract. Going down the list on escrow, we have escrow instructions, EMD, commission instructions, addendums, and the owner's declaration. The reports and disclosures, we have the prelim, the NHD report, the statement, the termite if applicable. We do have the commercial property owner's guide to the earthquake safety. That is actually required for the commercial. And another disclosure that's required is a seller's affidavit per seller, in case there's two. And then we do have the cooperating broker compensation that is used as well, but not required. We have the repair requests, contingency removals, extension of time addendums, the business lease rental agreements, estoppel agreements, and then the multi-disclosure, it's not needed for commercial. And then going down, we have the term of completion, if applicable. That's for amendments, the final HUD, commission check, and disbursement. And then we do have a few more that are used here. Of course, for representative capacity, if your seller or buyer are under entity trust. And I did note some down here that home inspection report is not required, but of course, if your buyer wants to obtain one, they can do so. The wire fraud advisory is to be used in a commercial, and then another one used is parking and storage disclosure. Any questions so far? Okay. So
I have a question. On page 1 of the quick summary, I noticed that this is new, the PEIA.
yeah.
What is that about?
So it just allows the licensees to use, it's like between the third party, which is a photographer, it allows the licensees to be able to use their photography, pictures. And then it also,
So this has to do with third-party photographers? It's not like if an agent's taking a picture, this is third-party photography that we're talking about?
yes, I believe so. I haven't got too much detail into it because they're not released yet, but this is just what I got from the summary.
Yeah, so I have some feedback on that. So remember the last class I talked about the right of a homeowner to refuse any kind of photography, either for the agent, and then there was the second part where agents showing the property could take or not take photography. So since there is a lot of companies now taking pictures and taking video, so there would be apparently an addendum that would allow the homeowners to give permission to third-party companies such as Rancho Photos, which Rafa and I use, to come in there and basically take the photography without causing any problems for the seller.
Any other questions? Okay, going lastly, I just want to explain a little bit as me what I do as a transaction coordinator. I have a small little summary if you want to pass that around. So of course, all agents, you're supposed to know what you're doing with your buyer and your seller, but there's transaction coordinators like me. We have Lena also, and we help you guys out as agents so that you guys could go out to the field and get more clients. And so we just basically do all the administration work for you guys. So I have a list of the duties that I do for your buyer side, and also what I do for your seller side, and also I do, there are some fiduciary duties that you guys as an agent are supposed to do as well, which I am a TC, but I'm not necessarily a personal assistant. But you know, we're always here to help you, and if you guys ever need any, if you have any questions or if you ever need any services, let us know.
Tell me the process of you being a TC from somebody. How does the transaction begin? So I get an offer accepted. What is the process? Take it from there. What is your expectations from an agent?
So once the offer is accepted, as your TC, I go ahead and when you send me the offer, any executed documents, counters, addendums, and either I get the listing information from you, and then, the listing agent information, and then I send them an email, I introduce myself as your TC, I introduce myself to escrow, loan officer, and we take it from there. Escrow opens, I make sure EMD is received on both sides, and we go from there. I request the disclosures from the listing agent, or as the listing side, I make sure I get them obtained. I send it out for signatures. I use DocuSign, and we send back and forth to the other party, as well. And then I make sure I have every disclosure that we need on the checklist. That we have it on our side. I also help you guys if you need help with, maybe you're out in the field, or can you contact the home inspector, or can you contact the termite to see if we can order that. I'll go ahead and help you guys with that as well. And yeah, basically I make sure we have everything executed, all disclosures. We have everything on our side that we need to close the file on time. Yes.
I have a question. When it comes with the notices to perform, do you remind the agent, or does the agent responsibility to keep track of like removing the
contingencies?
loan contingency
Yeah.
appraisal?
So I'm using a new system, so I on my calendar I'll set it up the dates when they're supposed to be removed, and I also CC my agent, so you're gonna get a notification the day before or 2 days before if you're on the buyer side. So to make sure we have everything to remove them. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, Jaenenne, I do have another question. I know the benefit of using a TC, but from your perspective, can you tell our executives what do you feel is the main benefit of using a TC?
Well, the main benefit is just basically to help you, assist you guys to not have to worry about all the documents, all the paperwork, and of course all the updates that are coming up. Me as a certified TC, I make sure that we have all the disclosures that we need per transaction, whether it's a REO, whether it's a regular transaction. So it's easier for you guys to not have to worry about, oh wait, what disclosures do I need for this? Even though it's on the checklist, you may not need all of them, or you may not need, there's a few that you may not need. So I think it just helps you guys as agents not have to worry about any of that. And your deadlines as well. You have somebody reminding you, okay, you have this deadline coming up.
One more question, Jaenenne, regarding the brokerment, which is the transaction coordinator system in the office. Do you take care of that from day one so that Maricela, administratively, she's aware of the transaction?
Yes, we use I'm not sure if it's broken, it's the Realty Executives website. So we go ahead and I submit everything for you. I receive the listing agreement from you from the beginning. I make sure everything's executed. If not, I send it out for signatures as soon as possible. We submit it online, and then from there, documents get submitted as well. Make sure to obtain the CDA so we can send it to escrow so they have a disbursement ready at close of escrow.
I have a question. Have you seen the now in SIP form and how they changed the whole program? I have a question on the update. So does it update automatically, or do we have to mess with it to update the forms?
To update the forms, I noticed since a while back, there was something that you had to do to switch to online so that the forms updated with new dates. But if you didn't do that, it was still showing the old ones. But as the new forms come out, that should be automatically for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you find it better, like the new format, or have you gotten used to it? I haven't gotten used to it, I'm still.
Yeah, if sometimes you're just on it for purchase contracts and then other stuff little here and there. It takes time to get used to it, but you just have to play with it, figure it out.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions?
I think the other question is, how effective do you feel that agents are when they use you as opposed to when they're not? And do you have a clear conversation? What's your mode of, I mean, I can speak how you and I communicate, but what is it you communicate with everyone the same? Or do you have different ways of communicating? No, we use Dropbox. So you open a Dropbox folder, you shared it. So you mind telling us how that is done so we have access to the forms all the time?
So I use Dropbox, and I recently started using a different one with my I think it's Guide or something. I'm not sure what it is. But it's Dropbox. I create the folder and I share it with you so that anytime we have any transactions, you'll see all the properties listed. And then they go into subfolders. So in each property we have subfolders, escrow reports, RPA, disclosures, and miscellaneous. So you're easily able to see where you can find anything. And at the close of escrow, I do also provide you guys with the CD of the file, the entire file, for you, and then a copy for your client as well. Or you guys can provide me with a flash drive as well, whatever you prefer. Okay.
What other ways can we help you? You know, is there room for improvement? I'm assuming there is, and I'm just talking about our part, because you're very precise at the time I work with you. What is the room for improvement that you would suggest to all of us to help you better?
I want to say communication. Sometimes I'll send out emails, I'll send out text messages, I won't get a response, and I'm trying to help you guys to stay on top of everything. So I would
Anybody
say
guilty?
communication. Yeah. And then just like the understanding of, you know, if maybe I come across an agent who maybe had issues with not understanding, she was barely a new licensed agent. But as a TC, you know, you guys should always feel like you can come to us for any questions, whether you think maybe we don't know it or maybe we do know it. So yeah, communication is a big thing.
Okay, that was awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
she has a question. My
Yeah.
bad. Here you go.
Denise is a self-proclaimed control freak. Janine was my, I guess the second time I used a transaction coordinator, because I normally would do everything in-house. And so it was a good experience. With a listing, the disclosures that the seller will need to sign, so then I don't have to, other than set the stage with the seller, you then will interact and get any disclosures signed, the seller property questionnaire, et cetera?
Yes.
Or you just set them up for me and I then will get them signed?
So I typically like to get them signed, except for when it comes to TDS, SPQ, and the earthquake report, and that is something that, as an agent, you should help out your seller or your buyer, or your sellers actually, to fill those out. So I do prepare them for you, but I prefer those three. You can communicate with your client to help them fill out. And then the rest of the disclosures, I explain to them what they are. I send them to DocuSign, and I do contact your clients just to let them know I'm going to be working with their agent. So they'll be receiving emails from me, text messages, phone calls, however they would like to communicate.
And I do appreciate having a transaction coordinator.
Also,
Yay.
in addition, I do, when it comes to escrow packages, I meet with your client, or either if they're computer savvy, I send it to them through email so they can have it filled out, but I do meet with your clients to have anything signed for the packages. And I'm a notary, so I can notarize the grantees for them as well.
How much is that cost per transaction?
I charge $500 per side per file, and if you double end a file, I do charge, I give you like a small discount, $200, so it'll be $400 for the double end.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Do you meet our clients sign escrow documents and all of that?
Yeah, I was mentioning, I do meet with your clients, either here at the office. Sometimes I do travel if they're not able to drive, maybe mostly the elderly people. I can meet them at their house or wherever they would like to meet to sign the documents. And then I take care of sending everything back to escrow, anything they need, I communicate with them.
Is that it? Anybody else has a question? Okay, so let's give her a big round of applause. That was awesome. So the bottom line, if you want to grow your business, use a TC, because she's going to take all the little things that you don't want to worry about. That's why, one of the reasons why we don't see Rafa over here. But I must say, we sold 3 days in a row, so we're filming, I might as well put it in a microphone. And this day, Rafa showed up 3 days in a row. We're all happy. All right, we got it. All right, so I have the pleasure of giving out a gift to someone that we chose as Agent of the Month. And in Agent of the Month, I mean, obviously somebody who has great culture, somebody who's here to help, somebody who's here to encourage you. You know, for the most part, that's all of you. But this month, we felt it was a particular person that took the extra mile to go a little bit further. And so we have the Agent of the Month, who is Will Colon.
Alright.
Show it to your son, he'll be proud of you. And have a little gift for you as well, brother.
Oh, man.
Well, I want to thank all our supporters here, which is our broker, Martin, and Jaenenne is always here to help. And that encourages me to help also. And, you know, I pretty much know everybody here. But yeah, if you need anything and I can help, I'm always happy. And I think if my mentality is if we could do this together, we're all going to win at one point. So thank you.
All right.
Photo.
Got to do it the military way with the thing up there so they can.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was a military. I didn't know that was a military
Oh,
way.
we have a whole pomp and circumstance.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you, guys.
So, thank you guys. The next person up is Martin. He's gonna come over and help us out. I know he's been waiting for this. I stalled him for 3 weeks during my listing presentation. He thought I was gonna finish the first day, second day, and third day. So here you are. Please welcome Martin.
For the listing, you know, pretty much did it all. He finished it up. You know, I'm very simple the way I do business. One thing, you know, I would not do a transaction without a TC. I mean, there's definitely a big part of your business. If you know, you have to see where you make your money. If you make your money doing a TC work, go right ahead. But us, you know, we should be concentrating on appointments, lead generation, and following up following up clients, and prospecting. So that should be our job. So for whoever's not using it, I strongly recommend to use them. You know, put it this way, they're a lot much better than, you know, even though I've been doing it for 20 plus years, they do a much better job than me. Just because they're on it and they're much better. So, and you know, one thing that I noticed is about the team agreement. You know, and as I've been telling you guys for this year, you know, that the future of the real estate business lies within teams. You know, that's, you know, I don't know if you've been noticing in the past few years, they've been coming more and more and more. And what a team is, the reason I liked one of the reasons I like it is because it gives you a structure. You know, it really put things in perspective. Okay, this is a business that I have. One of the things that I would strongly recommend on the, you know how we did the coaching with David Plummer? He has a list with all your, it's like your team, it's pretty much your team. So think about this, whether you're one person, two person, three person, even if you're one person, you still have a team. You know, because you have a lender, you have the escrow, you have all your resources, so everybody's a team. So it took me a long time for me to move into the mentality of being an individual to having the business that is structured, and it makes a big difference because you take your business a lot more serious. Because you know, if you just have to give, you know, just yourself, you could cheat yourself sometimes. I won't go to work. But you have a business, okay, you have a restaurant, oh, I'm not gonna open today because I don't feel like it. You're gonna lose a lot of money, and that's how you have to keep your, you know, your business serious. And it doesn't matter whether you're part-time or full-time, you could still run it like a business. Why? Because you have a team. You have your TC, you have your escrow, you have your mortgage, all of them are full-time. Why you could treat it like that? Because your job is just meeting with clients, lead generation. So as long as you do those, what it corresponds to you, then it doesn't matter. You have a great business. So that's why people could have 2, 3 businesses at the same time. Yeah, you don't need to be there the whole time, but you need to run it like a business. So I think most of everybody uses a TC already. So it's you know, it's probably, I'm preaching to the choir, but put together your business team, because from now on you're gonna see more and more and more the team structure. Why? And I really like what's the evolution of the real estate business, because is moving from the lone wolf that used to do a couple of transactions and, you know, just do their own way, into a more corporate structure. And that's going to help the people that pays attention. You know, again, that's another evolution of the real estate. And for the people that have been on the long run, you've seen a lot of things come and go. So this is the new thing, so make sure you have it together. I don't really have much to say other than my job is very simple. My job is just call my past clients, you know, which is my lead generation, write contracts, negotiate contracts, and have appointments. That's it. Everything else I try to send it to the lender, TCs, whoever, and I'm personally proclaimed not a, what do you say you were?
Oh, control freak?
Yeah, I'm not a control freak, so that, you know, I just oversee it, and, you know, if in any area of my business I see that somebody could do it better than me, I let it go. And you just have to try it and go for it, because that's how you're gonna grow, you know. Then instead of watching this, then you could concentrate on what's really gonna make it happen for you guys, which is the lead generation. So, you guys want to add something? I'm pretty much done.
All right, give me my hand. Give me my hand. Okay, so when we were in Phoenix, one of the things that so there was brokerage in Phoenix, for you guys that were in there, Realty Executives pretty much dominate the market. They have offices with 800 agents, 1,500 agents, 300 agents, and it's mainly about 3 or 4 agents. I mean, 3 or 4 offices, 3 or 4 owners. And they have offices in Phoenix, in Tucson, Yuma, you know. So the reason I'm bringing that up, because they talked about the team concept. So when you talk about the team concept, you always think, okay, I gotta get an assistant. I gotta get a buyer's agent or a seller's agent or a showing agent. But really, it is not that way. You actually have a team right now. You just don't think about it that way, or maybe you don't communicate it that way. Because is a loan officer part of your team? Is an appraisal part of your team? Even though right now we don't know them that much, they're ordered by the lender and all that kind of stuff. But they are part of your team. You know, we are all part of your team. So my encouragement right now is put a profile that showcases who's your team. One of the things I used to coach in the when I was with Prudential, it was in the beginning of the year, you interview your team people. Like literally you went with your lender and you said, look, my goal this year is to close 10 transactions or 20 or 30 or 40. Are you in it? And are you in it just to receive my leads and close them, or are you actually going to lead generate to help us grow the business we both want? And if they play like that, if they say, yeah, I'll help you, well, that's your team. Then from there, maybe, you know, it's who uses Downey Exterminators, Downey Termite Company, okay? Those are part of your team. All those people are part of it. You ask Javier in any way, shape, or form to help you with cost or to go do a job, he's there. He's helping plenty of times. So everybody that you use to close a transaction, especially, here's one person that we'll probably take under, that we don't really take under consideration, is your insurance agent. Your title person. Your title person has a lot of knowledge, a lot of stuff that they can help you with. Well, you know what? If you really go in, so a title person, whether it be Sean or Lisa or whoever you use, in their title company, they have a landing page with their specific profile. If you get that link and you put it somewhere when you send somebody and say, this is part of my team, you can literally send everybody's that is part of your team and showcase them. And you know what? And ask for business. So the reason I bring that up is that you have a team. So start looking at it. Start promoting yourself as a team, that you have a team, not that you by yourself. Okay? If you need help with that, I can help you with that. The other part I wanted to talk about is I started this class, I think it's going on 3 months or 2 months. And it was conversion or technology. I teach it every Tuesday from 9 to 10. Initially, I had a lot of people. And then, I don't have that many people. But I have one person that wasn't coming that all of a sudden is pushing me to be here on time. And that is Michael. Now Michael, I gotta say, he likes technology, but he's more analytical than I. I like to just look at stuff and run with it, experiment, run with it. So when I started the class, we were doing simple things, like just doing simple searches, looking at the city. Do you guys know that in conversion you can actually click a button on the city and it gives you everything that is for sale on that city? That includes residential, condos, commercial, land, anything that is for sale in that city, it actually gives it to you. You can take that link and post it anywhere, and now you became the source of that information. So I really encourage you to be here at 9 o'clock. Because we're going to teach I'm going to teach you stuff that I'm learning. So a lot of the stuff that I'm learning is working. I did a thing yesterday where I posted, prices are up in the city of Lakewood. And then I posted that and I shared it only on 13 groups, and it's hitting over 1,500 to 2,000 impressions right now. $0. $0. Now my numbers are like this. When I do it consistently, is if I share one post in 30 groups, it gives me 5,000 impressions, it gives me 5 leads, and it does in 24-hour period, by the way. And then that same ad keeps bringing leads. Now, what I'm learning is that the ads do the work for you. So whatever language you use in the way you put the ad is how people are going to get engaged. So that's why I encourage hashtags. Who was here when I did the class for hashtag? I think you guys were here. So that in itself, if you do a regular search and conversion and you just say homes, open houses in Lakewood, it's going to give you a very narrow search. But if you do hashtags open house in Lakewood, it's going to give you everything in Lakewood that inputted anything that anybody inputted the word open house. So now you put in data from all kinds of places. So I encourage you to be here. And so one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted Michael to come here and give us a statement of what he has learned, because he's been here 4 weeks in a row. So come on over, Michael. Tell us what you're learning.
Thank you. You know what? I'm not like Lionel. Lionel is a great researcher. I just want the leads. That's the only thing I want. So what I've done is building my team. I've actually hired a college student to post for me. Because let's face it, we're all busy, just don't have time to do it. That was my biggest deal, you know, with posting and all that stuff. So I hired a college student to post for me, and I am starting to get a lot of leads on conversion, okay, a lot. I'm learning how to do the Facebook deal and all of that. So my goal right now, and Leonel is teaching me some great stuff that is starting to build my database. Because that's what's important, right guys? Is building the database and actually getting people that's going to actually buy from you. That's really what we want to do. So I have a college student posting, I'm following up, I'm having people call me. It's shocking. I shouldn't be shocked, but it is. You know, that I have people actually calling me and asking me about my properties. It's starting to build my business. So therefore, I would strongly encourage all of you to come out on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. I would encourage all of you to think outside the box. You know, like for those in here who have teenagers, they're perfect for that. That's what they do all day long. So put them to work. Say, hey man, post this, you know, do this for me. Come have Leonel help. It will help build your business, I guarantee it. And Leonel's just growing. I'm proud of the guy, man, because he took this upon himself to learn this program, and it is an awesome deal. Okay, so if you are not doing it, you're missing out. You don't want to miss out. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you capture all the business that you possibly can. And I want to thank Leonel for doing an awesome job. Let's give him a hand, man, because he took this upon himself.
All right, thank you. Okay, so who knows what prime agent is? Denise, good, raise your hand. Okay, good.
Those are magic words.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you Googled your name right now, irrespective of anything you ever put online, it's going to be very narrow what's in there. Okay, and I hope this makes sense to you. If you, I'm going to challenge every single one of you that by the end of the week, you have your profile at the very minimum completed in Prime Agent. Who's going to say yes? Come on, I want to see some hands.
Challenge.
Okay? I want to see your profile completed. This is why. You may not understand the power of that right now, so I'm going to help you understand. Realty Executives in Phoenix, which is where the headquarters are, is an international company. They have a very big search engine where they have offices all over the world. So imagine when you put your profile in and you're part of an international network. Okay? So when people search for an agent in, let's say, in Los Angeles, most likely your name is going to show up. If they narrow it down to Long Beach, well, down that way there's no Realty Executives. We're the only one. We're the closest one to Long Beach. So that is going to give you basically, international has opened the gates in order for you to get those leads. So when a prospective buyer, seller, investor is looking for a realtor and they put anything in the international site, your name is going to come out, provided that you have filled your profile. Here's another part, is that when you complete your profile, Google notices it. Okay? Google notices everything you do online, right? Mm-hmm. So when you fulfill your profile and you complete it, the more data you put in there, so you link it with your Facebook business page or your personal page, however you decide, who has a LinkedIn profile. If you have Google Plus, who has a Google Plus? Okay, here's how you get a Google Plus. If you have a Gmail, you have a Google Plus. Okay? And I'm going to quick, who has a Google Drive? Who uses the Google Drive?
Google Chrome.
So Google Chrome is the actual operating system, and so Google Drive is an added app within it. Okay, Google Sheets. Who uses Google Sheets? Okay, 2-3 people. Maricela uses it. Okay, so by having a Gmail account, you have an amount of benefits that are absolutely amazing. I recently, a photographer took pictures of a property in Corona, and then he sent me a text. He goes, here are your pictures. And I had no idea what he meant. It was just a text. It was a phone number and a code. And I text him, of course, I had no understanding what that meant. And what he says is an email address. So he went online, opened a Gmail address, okay, that's never been used. How many gigabytes do they give you when you open a Gmail? It gives you 15 gigabytes, okay? That's a lot of memory. So he opened an email specifically for that property, dropped all the pictures and videos in it. Now I go in like that's my email. I put the email and the password that he set up over there, and I was able to access that Google Drive, was able to upload everything. Okay? That was new for me. I'm sharing it because this is stuff that people is using. So you may think, I don't know how to write. I don't know how to write stuff for my profile. I don't know how to do it. So the company understands that we're not writers. At least I am not. And so they created a system. They created a system where you actually go in and there's a link. I can provide that to you. You click on that link and you basically answer a series of questions. How long you started, where you work, your specialty, what city you work. You basically answer this question and you're in charge of all this stuff. When you complete that, that is sent to the company that basically is a professional writing company, and they write your profile. So here, I'm giving it to you until Friday for you guys to complete your profile. But you don't have to do it. The only thing you have to do is finish those questions. I'll be glad to send that link for you. If I just made it easier now, how many hands do I get? Come on, guys, let's fill the profile. Okay? If you have your profile, your name on the World Wide Web as a professional is going to have a lot more impact. A lot more impact. If you write an ad or if you do anything on conversion or Facebook, but you don't have a profile, Google's not picking up your name. It's just a single ad. It's weird how that works, but basically they're tracking everything. Content. So when you do hashtags, what is something that people are looking for? What is one of the most searchable words when people look for real estate? And I learned this from Amber, so I didn't. So, but I'm going to tell you.
Right now it's just reduced, or?
Foreclosure.
Foreclosure is high. Foreclosure is top 5. Fixer uppers top 3.
First-time home buyer.
First-time home buyers is in the 10 is good. So here's number 1: amazing homes.
Wow.
Amazing homes. So people want to look junk homes or amazing homes. So people, you know, for the heck of it, just looking at amazing homes. That's one of the most highly searchable words in the World Wide Web. So why did Amber name all of our pages amazing whatever? She knew. Mine is amazing Whittier homes and amazing Whittier nearby homes. Okay? Who has a business page? Everybody can have a business page. Here is the thing. If you don't have a business page, you cannot post. You cannot post. And why will you not have a presence online, like a store online, that says who you are and your services and all that kind of stuff? Who watched Lisa Lombardi's latest video? Efren. Efren came in all excited today, and literally he's like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Very simple. It took her 30 seconds. It's a 30-second video. She said who she was, what she does, she loves this, she thanked everybody, and it was off the races. I don't know whether that took her 30 minutes to film or maybe, 3 hours, but it was 30 seconds long. And in that 30 seconds, she was able to present a very compelling message saying who she was. She thanked her customers, her underwriters, all that kind of stuff. I'm literally doing a commercial for Lisa because I did like that video so much. So if you're not recording yourself, you should start doing it. I'm going to start doing it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. The bottom line is you just have to do it. Go ahead, Denise.
I was just curious, what software or tool are they using to do the recording?
So I know that initially there is a gentleman that she knows that actually does, apparently George Lopez opened some restaurants, and the gentleman that's doing the filming does some work for her, but she went ahead and invested on a professional camera. Now I don't know what that means, what camera it is, how much it costs, I don't know the details of it, but Where are most people filming a commercial and with what?
Cell phone.
With your cell phone. With your cell phone. And that comes from the culture of the kids. You know, they want to record a video, they want to tell somebody something. For the first time today, I took a class from 10 to 11, and the invitation was on an app. And in the app, you inputted a code. And with that code, you were able to see the whole PowerPoint presentation in San Jose. And there was over 50 people in the presentation. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? It's crazy good, right? It's a matter of you using the technology. So I do not want any of you guys to do anything else in regards. Do you guys need help with logging into Prime Agent? Okay, who wants the link? Okay, by the end of the week, I will check that you guys that raise your hands are going to complete your profile. If you don't, each one of you guys is going to take me out for lunch all next week individually. We're not going to McDonald's. Okay? We're no, okay, as a group, that's even better. Okay? What was that? Okay, seriously. I will tell you, if you finish your profile, you're taking me out to lunch, and I'm not going to eat until you take me out. That's how it's going to happen. The profile will really make a difference. Listen, once you have that profile, also, you can put it in every other part of social media, whether it's Twitter, whether it's LinkedIn, whatever other social media avenue you decide to use, even if it's one or two, but have a complete profile somewhere. Have a complete profile somewhere. Here's another thing. If you are using Conversion and you have not completed your full profile in Conversion, complete it. All you have to go in there and go in settings, complete your full profile. Is going to allow you to actually utilize it in a much broader way in order for you to market yourself. Now, honestly, the company is taking care of all these tools because we want you to succeed. Now here's the only thing, Michael has brought it up to my attention, Lionel, maybe they're not using it because we don't charge them. I'm just saying, it's on the table. Michael?
It is on the table.
It is on the table. Okay, so I have about 5 minutes. I want to wrap it up unless you guys have any questions. You guys been awesome. I appreciate that you guys been here. Please come to these meetings, and if you guys have any suggestions of any kind of education that we want to put together, I know I'm thinking about bringing, I have the 1031 exchange guy coming up. I'm going to bring Carol, the tax lady from Los Angeles County, bring her up again. I'm just trying to set up a date. So if you guys have a particular subject that you guys want to bring, and here's even a better one. I challenged Michael, so I'm going to challenge you guys today. Yesterday, there's a gentleman by the name of Kevin Frazier. I know Kevin way back, we go way back from the time in Wells Fargo. And he did a job, he did a wonderful job at doing a first-time buyer seminar live in Facebook at a church. How would you like to set up somewhere where you do a first-time buyer seminar, we'll help you, and you do it at their location, but you broadcast it? How far will that go as far as you being different and providing service? I personally would say that's pretty good. So, I don't know, that challenge is out. Michael already said yes, right Michael? Mm-hmm. Michael is going to do, Michael has a great first-time buyer presentation. We're going to help him out, and we're going to put it together. And so, that day I expect you all to be here, bring you buyers. Michael's going to do it. If we need a bigger room, then we'll do it at the Rancho Bar of right here in Cerritos. We'll borrow that room, and that sits about 40, 60, 70 people, and we'll make it work. Bring you buyers. Okay? Any questions? Wow, everybody's serious. It's not that serious. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next meeting. See you guys on Tuesday.
Hey guys,